Hello, everyone. Hopefully that tagged I think but that's going to be I don't know if that's the username for the video podcast or whatever I recently watched, but that's going to be what we're going to be going over today. And was the podcast, the video that I watched recently. But, anyways, welcome. This is Allie's Advocacy for TBI Survivors. And, of course, I'm Allie. I'm a left-right traumatic brain injury survivor of what will be 26 years this year. Today, we are going to discuss a video I watched that I believe it was brainline.org or Brainline did on YouTube and through I guess it was through the University of Washington, because at the end it had University of Washington TBI model system at the end. So we're going to discuss the 4 stories of survivors. I took notes. Sometimes I wrote exactly what people said. So I'm going to, if I pretty much sometimes it's like word for word what I wrote down. So anything I say is pretty much going to be word for word from the video because it was just kind of hard for me to kind of process and think and everything. So I was like, okay, I'll just write word for word. Okay, the first survivor that they talked about, let's see here. I forgot how she had sustained her TBI, but they said that TBI was sustained. It was when force is applied to the skull, which that is like really simple way instead of the big long explanation that we all get. And it in the first story, I don't remember who was talking and everything, if it was the experts or what, but they said it doesn't take much pressure for the individual to forget, and it's important for people to be realistic, and damage to neurons happens immediately, and this is how information is processed. And a professional came on who said support groups are very helpful. And they showed, I know they showed the temporal lobe, and then I forgot what other area of the brain. They showed that on the temporal lobe, they said memory, rage reactions, and impulsivity is where that occurs. Then in the second story, the person was injured in a fight. They were in a coma. They came out having trouble talking, and they ended up being wheelchair dependent. His parents helped him, and they also said in the story how each parent helped him. I think his dad helped him physically, and then his mother helped him like emotionally, and then he had a son who made him feel like Superman. Then they went over the 3 types of brain injuries. One is contusion, which essentially is some bruising to the brain matter, some bleeding inside the actual body of the brain. 2 is diffused axonal injury twisting and that's of neurons or stems, whatever it is that lines up, and it showed the brain and everything. And then there's bleeding of the brain, and they were like talking kind of so fast. It was kind of getting my mind scrambled on trying to figure out what to write down. So you'll have to forgive me on that. Then they went over recovery time. Mild recovery time, they said sometimes it was weeks and then months to a year. Severe to moderate or moderate to severe, I'm in the severe category. It's much, much more significant. High speed, and that's high speed impact and loss of consciousness. Appropriate treatment can make the difference in the recovery. The third one was a crashed motorcycle, wore a helmet, had short-term memory loss, dealt with depression. And the 3 big things that happen with brain injury is physical, cognitive, and behavioral. Survivors, they look lazy, but we're not. It's just that our brain isn't giving us the right signals. It's called like, we really want to do it, but our brain just quite isn't. The structure is, it stinks at communicating with the other side. The signals are crossed. As hard as it is to get better, or as hard as it is, people will eventually get better. And again, they went over how people need to join a survivor group. Then in the 4th story, which I believe was the last story they went over, was an honor student who was affected in a car accident. And they discussed how TBI really affects the whole person. And that individual had partial paralysis on the left side. And the individual recovered to where you can't tell he had anything wrong with him. And his tip was to make a new life for yourself. And with a brain injury, there is more to life than simple survival. And then at the end, they gave, they discussed the universe. They either talked about the University of Washington or I just posted University of Washington. Then I gave the TBI model system and posted the link for it, which is TBI. Yeah, I'm going to post it in the chat. Yeah. TBI.Washington.edu. Okay, and that is all for today's chat, everyone. So I hope everyone's doing great. I will do some shorts maybe later today, and then I will be going live. Okay, then I'll be doing a live on Wednesday, and so I will talk to you guys later. Bye.